Hey guys, Nolar here, aka Nanolar. Look, so there's a lot of new content for part 2 coming up, which at this time of this recording is gonna drop in like 20 minutes. Look, for JP, we're getting some new Extreme Super Battle Road stages, the category types like number 11 through 20. So what the purpose of this video is, we're going to take an initial kind of like discussion of like, okay, what are some good units to bring, what are some good teams, etc, etc. So be on the lookout. I'm not going to go too heavy into it, but I'm just going to give you some ideas of like what you could bring if you are, you know, anywhere on the spectrum of free to play to whale. So let's get started with the super type. All right, so with the super type, you got to bring one of every typing. I'm assuming, because that's when the Super Battle Road stage initially came out for that. That's when we got Tech Vegeta Blue and Strength Rose, and they were like, you got to bring one of every type to fulfill the requirements. So I'm making the assumption that that's going to be the case. So if that's the case, there are a bunch of categories we can take, like Goku's family. We'll take this one first, and we'll do like a bunch of different subsets. So like obviously, if you have the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, sure, or the Go Bros, they could be easy for leads. Obviously, if you have this guy, he is a must-have for every Super Battle Road stage. Wherever you can take him, you take him. Okay? Don't learn from what Tomb did. Take him when you can. Anyways, so you know, Go Bros are pretty good too. For JP, these guys aren't bad either. If you're gonna keep them on a floating, not necessarily support, but like as a floater. Tech Goku's pretty good. Maybe might take too much damage on that stage. We'll see. You know, you gotta test it out, but he is an option. I would not take Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Guys who just have no defensive capabilities, you know, that, you know, were released in the 2017-2018 meta that don't have an easy A, I just wouldn't bring. Like, Godku's definitely an in-type I would bring. Obviously, Strength UI if you have him. And then, actually, he's really good. If so, on Global, if you have him, once you finish the first 10 Super Battle Road stages, he's really good because he gets damage reduction if you have a Goku on rotation. And in my opinion, you would throw this Goku with probably him or him on rotation, put him in the first slot, and he has 58% damage reduction, which is fantastic. So for Super Battle Road, he's going to be really, really good if you could pair him up with either him. I mean, he might pair okay. I mean, just because he's got Goku in the name, sure, but might not be the best linking, but still could happen. And of course, you got tons of options, right? Alright, so of course you've also, again, got him, but he might be another subset lead grouping you could bring for the super types. So look, let's say you bring the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, or the Go Bro, so you've got AGL attack covered. Obviously on JP, if you could take him, you would. God Goku, if you need Orb Changer, I don't think there's movie bosses character, or yeah, movie bosses enemies you fight, so not really good in that regard. Let's see what else you could bring. The Super Saiyan 2 Goku, the one that transforms Super Saiyan 3. He's like really crazy good. Bardock potentially if you just need him to be supporting and giving Over in a Flash, prepare for battle. So like Over in a Flash to this guy. That's a good option as well. Infantry Gohan's not a bad idea. It's just he needs to have, what is it? Like Master and Student Bond. Like he supports them. Master and Disciple. Yeah, could work. He could work. Yeah, of course, you would take LR UI over him, but I mean, if you want to roll the dice, go ahead. If you really, really wanted to. Let's see what else. We have strength options. A lot of good strength options here. I'm not a fan of Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. I think he's just okay. He's decent if you really need to bring him, in the sense that he does extra damage against 2 or more enemies. Not the best, but he's an option at least. Goten's always good too. This Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's really good if you have, I think you need a Goku, right? Super Saiyan Goku attacking the same turn, so your Bomb Absorb Goku with him, that's not a bad thing either. You know, Namek Goku, he's, yeah, right there, a decent option. This guy's gonna be fantastic too, as a blue Goku. Stacking and then creating own orbs so you could heal off those. The Sun Ku is not a bad option if you need utility. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean he seals, but he needs an easy A. This one, that's not Stun Ku. No, this is Stun Ku. What's the other one I'm thinking of here? the metal cooler one here, or the cooler. No, the turles one. Sorry. Oh, he doesn't have these. Oh, he's the nuker. Okay, never mind. Wrong one. This Stunku you want to bring for sure if you need utility. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options here. Just see what your box looks like. That's one thing. The other thing, again, I said you can use Kamehameha as a sub lead. You know, just bring him. Then if you bring him, you can bring these two together, and they're fantastic on rotation together. So that fulfills your tech and int requirement. Again, you have lots of options. Go Bros are here. God Goku. You know, of course, these two dudes. The obviously the new, like, if you can bring them, they're great. They're really good too. So look, you've got a lot of options. I mean, of course, these are summonable LRs. I get it. Let's go look at the other options. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken's not bad. I mean, this one, because his turn restriction is only 10 turns from when he shows up, so that's not bad. And hopefully your Super Rattle stage doesn't last 10 turns. For tech, I would definitely bring the kids, Trunks and Kid Goten, for sure. Again, like I said, Super Saiyan 2 Goku's good. UI Goku, if you really want to roll the dice. I mean, LR UI is obviously good. You gotta bring super types, right? So that's what we're looking at here. For strength types, he's not a terrible option either, because he, he just gives the super class allies that. Okay, you know what? That probably not the best. I was probably thinking of Great Saiyan Man, the other one, the tech one, but that's not good here. Yeah, the Goten's not bad here. Well, obviously if you take this one, you can't take this one. Yeah, there's some decent options here. Again, he's really good, so obviously you'll bring physical Vegeta Blue. So for your physical unit, you probably bring him. For your strength unit, if you had to pick and you didn't have the LRs, I would probably bring this guy if you had him. Now, I mean, he's gonna be rare because not a lot of people have summoned for him, but guarding, high chance of stun. Again, lots of capabilities to, you know, just utility. So he would be good. I'll bring the kids if you had them. Granted, again, that awakening is for JP. You guys probably would get it in November. It's kind of weird. I don't know, man. Your schedule's all off, so it's hard for me to say. But that's another option, of course. Again, off top of that, you have Vegeta's family, so you would bring him as a lead. And he's pretty good to start because he gets the defense. He just raises his attack, so that's not a bad thing. He's not bad either, but they need easy ace. His defense, even after supering, is not fantastic. He's a good option if you had him, of course. This guy, if you don't have... Well, okay, here, let me put it this way. If you had Super Saiyan 2 Tech Vegeta, you take him over this one. But this one's not bad either, because he can, he's like a tank, absolute tank. So, you know, if you don't have the Dokkan Fest one, I'd bring him. Of course, you could bring this Tech Trunks. He's really good too. A lot of good tech units here. Okay, this is what I was thinking. This Great Saiyan 3, because he does counter. So he is potentially an option. Wait, does he counter? Or am I thinking of somebody else? Yeah, counters with tremendous power, so he does. All right. So he's also an option for your int unit. I would probably actually bring him, because he's pretty good for, you know, just the whole nuking aspect, and the heals and all that. So that's good. Of course, you'll bring Super Strength, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Vegeta if you had to. The Rage and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Bulma, that's a good option too. It's just you might take a lot of damage. Depends on you. Transforming Vegeta might work as well. I mean, this Trunks would be good because, of course, you're bringing full Vegeta family, so that's an option as well. But yeah, there's a lot of things you can do here. It's a little more limited than, say, the Goku's family because there's tons of picks there, but that's also a thing. All right, so but Pure Saiyans, you can bring a full Pure Saiyans team, right? You just gotta bring the super version of it. So yeah, you'll bring him as lead, or him. Oh, it's up to you how you want to run it. But then, of course, obviously bring him if you can. The Kale Khalifa are great. Godku again. I'm just picking LRs like these guys, obviously. But if you didn't have them, obviously, you know, the Super Saiyan 2 Goku's really good. It's a Pure Saiyan again on Goku's family as well. He's yeah. I'm just trying to think of anything that stand out. Like, in terms of, I mean, Super Saiyan 3 Goku here might not be bad either. Tora's pretty good as a support unit, and potentially go Great Ape, which might help you. Like, might be bad, and like sometimes it'll go Ape at the wrong time, but might be good as well. Again, all the other units that you mentioned before, like these two guys are great. Everyone else, I say like the Super Saiyan 2 Gokus, the Majin Vegetas. You know, UI Goku, of course, you bring the LR one if you could. You know, if you had to bring Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, sure. You know, there's a lot of ways to play it. I think, you know, it's fairly, hopefully it's a little more clear what are your options here. Again, the ones that stand out are the ones that have higher defense or damage reduction. Like, if you bring this Kale, you want to bring that Caulifla, this Caulifla here, the Super Saiyan 2, and then bring the LR Kale and Caulifla if you had them. Of course, this Kale is pretty good. Once, yep. And then, of course, the Tech Caulifla, you know, a lot of options. So for Pure Saiyans, opens up the doors a little more. So a lot more things. Of course, you got the Stun Coup, you know, this Goku. I mean, you could bring this one with the Tech Blue Vegeta together on one rotation. That'd be fine. So I think it's pretty clear as to, you know, you got a lot of options, a lot of ways to play about it, and hopefully I could probably showcase some of those teams. So we'll move on to the next one, which is the Extreme types. Alright, for the Extreme types, you could even do the Pure Saiyans version of the Extreme types. You just take, probably you have to take him. He's what, 120, I think? Double check this. After EZA, yeah, 120 Pure Saiyan, so he's an option. So you take him as a lead, you bring like Nappa Vegeta, you know, Tech Broly, maybe the LR Broly. And okay, so if you took him, you got AGL covered. Okay, you got 2 AGL, so you need one of every type. So you need a physical unit, like a physical unit like Humber would be really good, or even the DBS Broly if you really want to go AOE, like just really go for it and hopefully destroy everything. You know, you got Majin Vegeta as an option. Yeah, we got Raditz, he's AoE. Yeah, you can go full AoE with this one and see how you do. I would definitely take him. He's really good for tech over than, I mean, Broly's good, but I mean, he's got the damage reduction. So look, you could probably run a Pure Saiyans extreme version and get that stage done with one of every typing. A little more limited, obviously, because most of the Saiyans here are super types, but that's one option. The other option, again, Android Cell Saga. Anytime you can bring Cell, especially with the Link update, he dominates, you know, Super Bad Road. So you could do Cell here, then you bring the physical Cell and the physical androids, one of the two, but then you need one of everything else. So you got Ints covered as well as physical. You need a tech unit. You know, this Cell would be good for tech. He's pretty good because even though he's a support unit for extreme tech, he lowers attack and defense upon supering, so that's always good. He makes his own orb, so he'll, you know, be able to really super and really take that extra attack and defense. These guys are good too because you eventually will put them on rotation with the LR Cell, so that's an option as well. And they do double supers for and lower attack and defense, if I remember right. It's just attack. Oh yeah, both attack and defense. So that's really good. So, you know, debuff the hell out of the enemy. For strength unit, you can bring them. You can bring any of these guys. I mean, the combo of the 17 and 18s work really well together. So the tech and strength. So you could do that. This one's got a lot more, you know, even though, again, a lot more limited in terms of just options, it's still a really good one. And of course, like we said, you know, Cell, Perfect Form Cell. If you guys seen any of the showcases I've done or anybody else with maximum levels, he's just a monster. Conversely, you can also do the same thing with Time Travelers. A little more limited. The problem is he's the only good lead, like extreme lead, I should say. This one's like limited, but okay if you wanted to. So that's an int unit. You need an AGL unit. You know, you take. Probably bring Toa if you had her. Arms is not a bad option either. Zamasu, so you can bring Zamasu. You can bring the whole like Realm of God, Zamasu, Goku Black, Rosé team under whatever lead. If that's the case, you could do Future Saga as well. Time Travel is a little more open just because you have all these options. you do have the LR cell, right? Like we said, is a god. So we can do the both cells. So we got 2 ints. Let's say we take him and then 2 cells. So we got int, physical. So we got 2 ints and a physical. We need an AGL. I take Toa or Zamasu. Tech, the cells or the Zamasu. Then we need a strength unit. We can take the Rose. He's really good. This guy's good to take the Extreme Boo because he AoEs, and that's not a bad option either. So that's this is another version. Time Travelers, Future Saga as well. I mean, it's a little same variant of Time Travelers, but a little more cleaner because you can just go strictly int Rose, double int Rose leads. You could bring him or the Zamasu, and then you got the AGL Zamasu. You can bring this guy. Everyone's got to have him because he farmed him up for 5th year. You need a physical unit. Probably take this Goku Black, and you're good to go. You just take the full Zamasu Goku Black team. That works as well. And one more team I forgot, but give me a second here. Okay, there's 2 more teams I thought of here that you can do under the extreme types. It's just the full power team, right? So you could take either full power Frieza, or you take the Broly. I would probably take the Broly. He's Super Saiyan Broly, which is this Super Saiyan Broly. So if you take him, you can't take him, the Extreme LR. But if you took full power LR Frieza, then you can take him. Obviously, again, you also have full power Cell. You know, I would bring Omega, Strength Omega, just because he's amazing. He's like having a Whis on the team. So you got, let's say you got 1, 2. Let's say you took the LR in Cell. You can take the AGL Gold with Frieza. He's a really good option as well. Then your text options are like either this. Well, if you had to bring an AGL, right? We don't have a extreme version of AGL on the LR side. I would bring the AGL for Gold Frieza. Then for the tech side, I would probably bring either Demon King Piccolo or the Transforming Frieza, just because he heals on every turn, and that's really helpful as well. So it's a little limited in terms of you gotta not a lot of EGL options, but if you do have the team set up, this one works really well, especially because you have this Omega. The Strength Omega is so good for Super Battle. It's literally like having a Whis on rotation. So that's another option. And the last one I thought of was Majin Power. It's all the boos, and of course you would take the new Boo Tanks and one of everything else, and that's it. You just take all the boos and win. Like, that's obviously the most powerful team right now. I think they're a little bit better than the Cell team, but that's because it's just LR Boo Tanks. It's just stupid good. All right, well, let's move on to the next one. And let's take a quick look again. That is gonna be the Fusion team. So give me a sec and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so Fusions is the first one here. Let's take a look. So, all right, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, obviously you would rather take the physical LR cells just for the, Gogeta, because of the better lead, than say the strength blue Gogeta. Also, you don't want to take too many of him. You're gonna float them for the most part. Like, that's their best position. So you want more impactful units in the get-go. So I would definitely take the LR Gogeta first. All right, now let's look at the rest of these units. The Ghost Tanks is actually not bad because they can stun, and they do have the ability to make Rainbow Key Sphere. So that really works with these guys, and of course they can stun, so they're not a bad option. Like, really, they're not a bad option. I would rather take them than Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Yeah, because for him, you're really just hoping for counters. But on Supers, so this guy, obviously you'll bring him. This guy, yeah, I would still bring him. Even off rotation, I would still bring him. These guys, not so much. They're not going to really help out at all, linking or anything like that. So, all right, let's go through the actual units themselves. So, of course, like I said, the Super Saiyan Gogeta that goes to Blue Gogeta, I'll take him. I wouldn't bring Volpan. They are not a bad option if you can key control, but that's going to be very difficult on this team because everyone's a fusion, so they're going to get Fused Fighter. Granted, with the new Link update, they might not trigger it every time if you throw them off rotation, so they're not a bad option overall. Yeah, the rest of the tech units I'm going to bring. Obviously, I'll bring this Gotenks. He's really good. The transforming one, of course, this is strictly for JP. Ghost Tanks is not a bad option either. Between the Super Gogetas, I would still bring the Strength one because of the Easy A. Once this guy gets an Easy A, I would bring him instead, but yeah, he's a really good option. Seal Tanks, definitely bring him. I wouldn't bring Physical Super Saiyan 3 just because he doesn't have that defense, while Tech does because of the Easy A. Once Physical gets his Easy A, he's probably the better option. Now, there's a few of the Fusion cards that are Dragon Ball Heroes cards that I would entertain. If you have this guy, he's actually really good. Because he lowers attack and defense, so debuffing the enemy, if you throw him off rotation, is not a bad idea. And then if you manage to seal, if you put him, like let's say you put Seal Tanks on rotation in second slot, and this guy, or you put these two together, Seal Tanks first, and then this guy, well, he'll lower attack and defense on whoever, and then launch an addition attack when the enemy's super attack is sealed. So, seal somebody, lower their attack, super twice, doubly lower attack. That's not a bad option if you pulled him, if you went in on the banner, you know. This guy's also, let's see if I remember him. He seals. All right, so you can bring those two. This Go Honks and then this Go Tanks, right? This is Go Tanks? Yes. So the Xeno Go Tanks and the Xeno Go Honks, they work hand in hand, right? One supers, one seals. Whoever seals or supers, stuns, will affect the other one. So like the other one will get the additional super off. So you could just play around that. So yeah, those are pretty much the real ones I would even consider. The rest of the fusion cards I wouldn't even care about, honestly. So let's move on to Shadow Dragon Saga. This one's gonna be fairly short. Okay, so you definitely need him. And you definitely need her. Especially when she gets her awakening on this. Again, that's strictly on JP. But yeah, they're gonna be great together. Because this guy lowers attack and defense just by being on the field. She seals and a bunch of other stuff if I remember right. She seals. Does she stun? Launches an additional super when the enemy's in attack down, defense down, which means having Omega with her on rotation is great because she'll definitely get 2 supers off. And then attacks affecting all types and high chance of stunning this enemy when the super attack is sealed. So if she gets double supers off, she's going to be effective and a high chance of stun. So I don't think it'll be difficult. I think the reason why it'll be difficult is if you just don't have the units, right? Like if you just don't have them, you don't have them. Obviously, you have the LRs. You'd rather bring those than the OG TURs. Full power Super Saiyan 4. Yeah, he's not bad. He's an option. I mean, she's also the support, one of the support units. So, and I haven't used him since U4, but let's take a look again what he does after he's Extreme Z Awakening. Raises the allies' defense by 30% for 1 turn. He's more of a nuker. When there is a Shadow Dragon. Okay, so this guy's gonna be really good. If you've been playing since year 4, you would have him. I would definitely bring him. And prepare for battle, Super Saiyan, shattering the limits. I think he pairs up really well with. Well, Pan awakens. He awakens. Oop. Does he have shattering the limit? Yeah, but you don't want to bring Oop. Let's not talk about bringing Oop. Does he? Maybe he has shattering the limit. I don't remember what he does. Not great. I mean, he's a good partner. He really is for this guy. But I would bring him. I just think he'd be got to make his own stuff on his own. Yeah. So the problem is, I mean, I ran this last time, but I took her as the lead because she is a 120 lead. I want to say she's a 120 Shadow Dragon lead, and I brought Omega, which more than made up for the fact I didn't have the physical Omega as the lead. So that's another way to play it. If you don't have him, you could, and you have these two, I'd bring these two for sure on one rotation, and the other rotation would be these two guys. Put Dragon Super Saiyan 4 up front because he has defense initially up from the get-go, while Goku, remember, he has to super to get that going. So yeah, that's how I would run those rotations. So let's move on to what's the next one here. Peppy Gals. Okay, why did I run my gods out? But the Peppy Gals, look, the first one was really easy. I imagine that one, this is not going to scale like infinitely harder, but there's some crazy ass units in this category, okay? Like, look, you've got Caulifla, you got Kale, you got Launch. Launch is amazing. You know, for those of you who don't know, I mean, granted, this is for JP, but really lowers attack and defense. 120 attack and defense, and then 3 key, 60% high chance to perform a crit. Launch 2 more additional attacks with the high chance of becoming super for 6 turns from the start of turn. Seals the super attack of the attacked enemy when there's another Peppy Gal's category ally attack in the same turn. Like, she's a very good option. I mean, she got her easy A. She's really good because of the healing, the chance to perform a crit, and then Rosie and Kakunsa. I mean, again, we're talking JP, but they're crazy too. Everyone in this category is amazing. Doesn't matter, like, as long as you've got some orb investment and some link leveling skills, they're gonna be fine. Because let's see, Peppy Gals, where's Battlefield Diva? Key 3 and evade super 5% dodge to everything, even super attacks. Like, that's nuts. She stuns. Chi seals, I want to say. She seals. A lot of sealing going around, so if your damage dealer is right here, but that's not to say that anyone else can't do damage. So yeah, you've got a lot of options here, and hopefully you kept on to this category. I don't think it'll be too difficult, but even if it was scaled to a regular Super Battle Road, like, you know, like hybrid Saiyans and whatnot, and extreme and super types, I think you'll be fine, because they do a lot of, they have, like, every Peppy Gals has utility in their kit. So yeah, I definitely say this is not a difficult one, just as long as you have some cards. Like this Fidel, debuffs, you know, and right here, attack enemies -20 again, so just it's crazy. Recovers 20% of damage dealt as HP. Yeah, like the Peppy Gal shouldn't be too difficult, honestly. So what's the next one? Hybrid Saiyans? Alright, let's go to that one. So let's talk HP. Let's talk JP first. You're gonna take him if you have him, obviously. He's not a bad option either, but if you bring him, you would want to bring him under more of the Master of Bond and Disciple kind of thing. So mostly Hybrid Saiyans. Obviously, you take all the Hybrid Saiyans in this category. If you brought him as a lead, just so that he has his passive he can help with his support passive here. 1 key and send 30%. You know. So yeah, you'd bring him. Go bros. B-Pan's really good for the potential to guard and get some healing back. The downside is, like, this guy's gonna be good, but he won't get that 58% percent damage reduction because there's no Goku, clearly because Hybrid Saiyans. Yeah, those are some good options for you to bring. There's a lot of sub leads, so there's no issues here on that regard. But yeah, so like the Super Saiyan 3 Trunks is good. Obviously the Trunks, Int Goten Tech Trunks, the kids, again, on the Awakenings on JP, they're gonna be really good together. Gotenks obviously is really good here, again, strictly JP. Tech Trunks is gonna be a good option as well. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, again, is a decent option because now not everyone's gonna have Fused Fighter, so it'll be easier to key control him to make sure he gets a super under 11 or under 12 key. Let's see, Ghost Tanks is always good. Again, stunning, utility plus orb changing is always a good thing. If you're running more over in a flash centric, the Super Saiyan 3 Gohan, if you do have him, is a good option. I can't recommend Pandel. The EZA Int Rage Trunks is good as well. And let's see, what else have we got here? This High School Gohan is a support unit that's fine, throwing off rotation. He stuns, takes minimal damage. He's a very good option. If you're taking the Int Super Saiyan Goten, you won't take him. I wouldn't take this Ultimate Gohan. I just wouldn't, because he's not good. He's no longer good. Yeah, I mean, this Gohan's fine too if you're gonna run more physical units, I guess, but obviously if you're taking Tech 1, you're not gonna take him. Let's see, what else? Super Saiyan Future Gohan's not a bad option either. If you pair him up with the other Future Gohan, that's not a bad rotation. Steel Tanks, again, good option. So let's see, is there any other like major Did he get an awakening? Yeah, right, because he becomes this one. Yeah. Raises defense. It's not a bad one either, right? 70% attack and defense. Chance to perform a critical hit when if each attack performed, launch an additional attack with 3 or more key spheres obtained, and launch an additional attack with 5 or Q. Yeah, he's not a bad option either. So those are some good, like, he would have been up here, right? Yeah, there he is. Yeah, there he is. So yeah, I mean, this is hybrid Saiyans. It's a huge category field. You kind of need some specific ones who do have like great success in Super Battle Road. Again, we don't know. I'm just talking to see like what kind of stuff we're gonna get potentially, but that's how I see hybrid Saiyans going. And we'll head to Resurrected Warriors in a second here. All right, so Resurrected Warriors. I think this is gonna be pretty easy, honestly. You're gonna take Majin Vegeta, the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, for sure. The tech Broly's not bad. He's not a bad option, but you're definitely gonna take the Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta. He's really good. You won't really see him go Majin Vegeta, but that's fine. Not a problem. LR Cell, you have him. That's a good option as well. Demon King Piccolo as well, on JP, of course. Alright, now let's look at everything here. Bardock is always good. So is Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku. Yeah, they're both really great. Metal Cooler is going to be a good option. Of course, all the Golden Friezas are going to be good. So the AGL and the Tech one. I wouldn't bring anybody else here. Well, Towa might be a good support option if you're going fully extreme only. But yeah, on this side, I would definitely bring, if you had to, bring him. But of course, he shares the same name as this guy, so I would take the lead over him any day. If you had this Trunks, Gohan, sure, by all means, bring him. All the boos. So any of the boos, like you could make the sub 1 like Majin power and bring all the boos, and you'd be fine. You know, like it'd be okay. So if you had that capability, sure. But for those who don't, Tech Cell's still decent. The new Majin Vegeta might not be bad. Well, not new. I mean, his easy, I should say. He's not a bad option because he has an attack all. He may stun, and you realistically could get low enough to trigger his passive. So for those of you who don't know, again, I'm talking strictly JP here, but attack and defense 60%, and then an additional 88% attack boost when performing super with 60% or less. Not a bad option. If so, you could do that. I wouldn't bring any of these. Well, Mr. Boos are going to be really good. Again, he makes rainbows, so rainbows is always great. It's utility. Super Saiyan 2 Goku's good. Super Saiyan Bardock's really good. LR Bojack, of course, he's probably aged the best. Like very, very usable these days. Kid Buu, maybe. I mean, Golden Frieza, he is the OG lead, so he might be a good option. Metal Cooler is good if you decide to bring more of an extreme version team. And then on this side, nothing really on this side. While this side, the Majin Vegeta, the Buu, the Cells, like these are good options. He's not bad either, but he's kind of like lower on the priority list because he does greatly lower attack, so he's got utility to him. But he's got this thing where it's only defense 100%. The 200% attack for 5 turns, and after that's 120. So again, he might be a good option, but linking wise, not the best. Yeah, okay, Kid Buu, he's good. He might take some damage towards the end, but I mean, not a bad option. But yeah, Resurrected Warriors shouldn't be too bad, but of course he is going to be the reason you beat it or not. So there's that. And let's go to Realm of Gods, which is... Alright, Realm of Gods, if you guys don't remember, the OG category Super Battlers, they were the hardest because there's just so many enemies. And now it's not so bad. So there's a lot of variations you could bring with the team. Let's start with the supports. I'd rather start with the supports because they can determine whether or not you do really well. You got Supreme Kai Time. She's really good. Granted, she's very limited. Came out with a couple banners, so you may not have her. She's really good on JP with her Awakening. But if you don't have her, you can always still bring This Vados, the Invados, they're both out on both versions. They're really good. This guy's gonna be great. I haven't really used him, so I'm gonna probably showcase him on this. But he's definitely a utility character, stunning, evading, and then transforming to Gabito Kai, where debuffing, stunning, sealing, like he's got all the utility to really push you through it. And then of course we got God Topo, one of the best supports on this team. And again, you've got Zamasu Gawasu, who of course rate like 70% defense, so that's nothing to scoff at because defense is really helpful here. So those are your options in terms of supports. I would take at least 2 of those, maybe 3 if you feel like they can handle it. Because like she's got dodge, not dodge, she's got guard active once she gets hit once. Guard against all attacks on the same turn after receiving attack. So defensively she'll be okay. Supreme kind of time massively raises her defense. So on the 3rd slot when she supers, she'll be fine. And luckily, hopefully give her some additional so she can super twice. Then she'll take no damage. She's got dodge and evasion in her kit already. Yeah. Seal super lowers attack and what is it? High chance of evading. Yeah, so 50% of chance. What else? These guys have evasion too. He can tank pretty well post EZA. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Like, yeah, that's not gonna be a problem. So honestly, I think they're going to be really, you got a lot of support options. Of course, your hard hitters all kind of depends. Like you have UI Goku, who's again utility. He can dodge 70% of the time, which feels like 20% of the time sometimes. But yeah, he's really good. He's one hard hitter. Of course, you've got the blue fusions. Again, I would probably rotate them off. You've got God Goku, the high chance of dodge, high chance of crit. So there's that utility. Rose hits super hard if you manage to pair him with someone who can change key spheres. So like the physical Beerus can do that. So can Goku Black. So yeah, those are lots of options. You know, LR Beerus and Waste is pretty good. The Dokkan Fest Beerus is great. Of course, Jiren, who 200% attack on start of turn. You can't deny that. These guys are great too. They have a lot of attacking potential with them. Yeah, there's so many units here. Hopefully you have some of these. Some of these are farmable. Like he's farmable. I don't know how well he'll do. Maybe I'll try it out. Yeah, it might be okay. Try him out. This guy's gonna be fantastic as well because he's gonna debuff the enemy and buff his allies. So, you know, depending, like there's a variation of super types and extreme super realm of gods you could bring. So depending if you bring all of one or all of the other, you know, for extreme types you bring Mirzamasu, and then for the other type, super type, you'll bring into Vegeta Blue if you had him. Of course, you have physical Vegeta Blue. You know, there's not much to say about him. Of course, you've got the blue Goku here and the blue Vegeta here, who are great together. So lots of variations on ways to play Extreme Super Battle Realm of God. Whether or not you can get through all of it, we'll see how rough it is, because last time it was super difficult. But anyways, all right, Majin Buu Saga. With the new LR, you know, this guy here, I think it's gonna be very easy. So if you have him, you'll bring him. If not, you'll have to make do with one of these other leads. But if you manage to have him, I think it'll be pretty good. In terms of who you bring, there's so many. The category is huge. It's probably one of the best categories. But if you could, actually, here's a thought. You bring him because he's a Majin Buu Saga lead. What, 120 or is it 130? 130, 3 key. You know what? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try him and then just the all Boos because he supports Majin power. So I think this would be the best case scenario to give him a go. I think I've got 2 dupes in mind. Because he takes 330k battlefield meters and it's just stupid. Anyway, so of course you've got lots of options, right? You get Super Saiyan 2 Goku. This base form Vegeta is pretty good in slot 1. I've used him once, but I don't really remember a whole lot. I think you got to put him in slot 1, right? Yeah, great chance of evading, big attack and defense boost, and all that stuff. Superclass allies, attack and defense 30%. Yeah, he's going to be interesting. I definitely will try that variation out. Again, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and then Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Where are you? Right here. Like, all the other ones I mentioned before have been pretty good. I wouldn't bring the Tech or Int one. I would wait to see if they do get an easy A. Potentially you bring them. The Candy Vegeto's not bad either, but that's also RNG. You're like really relying on him to dodge. All the boos, again, like I said, if you could bring them, you would on a fully boo centric team. Like bringing Deborah, this kid, physical Kid Boo, and then all the other boos. I think that would be easy W there. Let's see, any other strength units I could recommend out of this? I mean, he's really good for support, but he hits pretty decently. Again, World Tournament Go On if you had him. That's kind of it in terms of strength, super strength. Bring the Tien. Bring the Tien. Like, if you guys don't remember, he's recently came out 3 weeks ago, but greatly lowers attack and defense, and huge damage, and a high chance to stun the enemy. Like, easily 3 million attacks, or 2.5 to 3 million attacks. That easy. The physical Super Vegito, I'd rather bring the AGL personally, but I mean, if you had to bring him as a lead, then you gotta bring him. Seal tanks so that physical Super Vegito can, you know, or the Super Vegetos can do their job. Yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of Majin Buu Saga. I mean, we've all made a bunch of videos. Of course, we'll make more, but this is now it's not a dead category. It wasn't dead, but it needed a lot of help, and of course now it's got a lot of help. So last one is Potara. I'd still bring the Int 3rd year Vegito over the Tech one, just because they're all going to be floating anyway, so I'd rather bring as many of these guys on rotation. Of course, I'd bring, if you could, ideally bring the new LR plus them. That's, you know, and then an AGL, and then the physical Vegito Blue. But these guys aren't bad for support. They're pretty good too. Again, they've got a lot of utility, so they're going to be pretty good on Potara as well. She just supports Realm of God, right? Yeah. Yeah, she only really supports Realm of God, but she is a Potara. I mean, Supreme Kind of Time. Then you've got the extreme version variants, the Rosés, Goku Blacks. I'd probably bring him. Obviously, he's better on global over the Int one. I bring this Rosé for attacking. This guy's got some, he's a hard hitter with a little bit of utility. Or if you really wanted, you bring him as the support defensive tanker. You know, bring this guy so when he kills, he gets that buff. So Kefla, I wish she got an easy 8, but yeah, those are the units I'd rather bring. Potara's a little small. You gotta have the units. Not a ton of farmable cards, like these two are the only farmable ones of note. Everything else has to be pulled. Kefla, again, Kefla's another good option, the transforming one. So yeah, that's gonna end my initial preview thoughts. Of course, stick to the channel. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content and want to see me take these categories on. And there's a lot of things I could do, a lot of different teams. So I'll be making some different videos all the time just to show you guys different team comps, ways to get about it. Of course, I'm going to fail here and there just because I'm not really sure what to expect. But yeah, so definitely check out for the channel for new videos. Leave in the comments below what you think of this initial first wave of like, oh, this is the teams and all that stuff. And did I miss anything or something you kind of question? You know, I know a lot of you think I have, you know, questionable things. I get it. It happens. But I do want some constructive criticism. So like, look, if I miss something, let me know. Yeah, I'll thumbs it up. Let everyone know, like, yeah, this is a good option. I missed this one. Or maybe I should reconsider what I said here. Yada, yada. So anyways, guys, I'll catch you all next time, all right? Noller, out.